Good morning, Hayom Yom, Chof Zayin Iyar, the 42nd day of the Eimer. So once upon a time, there was a man who was a fundraiser. He used to raise tzedakah, and he wrote a letter to the Friediker Rebbe telling him that it is wasting too much of his time. He doesn't have enough free time to study Torah, to do what really matters in life. And the Rebbe wrote back to him, and he began by sharing with him the following thoughts from Chazal. Chazal tell us, our sages tell us, that the purpose of study, the reason why we study, is that it facilitates action. It leads to action. It leads to Maisa. So he said, if you're already involved in Maisa, if you're already doing the best thing a person could be doing, facilitating tzedakah, allowing tzedakah to be given, then you're good. And then he shared with him a second teaching of Chazal, a second thought of the sages, and that is, Chazal tell us that if you teach somebody Torah, if you share with somebody else powerful, life-changing ideas, then that person is considered like your child. It's like you gave birth to that person. That person is your spiritual child, your spiritual offspring. And the Friediker Rebbe basically told him by extension, if you're enabling other people to study Torah, if you're raising the tzedakah, which allows yeshivas to stay open, which enables people to study Torah, to an extent, those people, those bachrim, are like your children, which is incredible. Then he proceeded to share with him the contents of today's Hayom Yom. And that is that the Tzemach Tzedek, the third Chabad Rebbe, heard something wild from his grandfather, from the Alter Rebbe. And he shared it with his son, the Rebbe Marash, who shared it with his son, the Rebbe Rashab, who passed it on to us today. And that is, the Alter Rebbe used to say about himself, that he views himself, he is the son of the Maggid. He is the son of his teacher, the Maggid. The Maggid is like his father. And he views himself as the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov is like his grandfather. And it's based on this teaching of the sages. Since the Maggid taught him Torah, therefore the Maggid is like his father, he is like the Maggid's son. And since the Baal Shem Tov is his teacher's teacher, he's the teacher of the Maggid, therefore he's the father of the Maggid. The Maggid is the son of the Baal Shem Tov, which makes the Alter Rebbe, who's the son of the Maggid, the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. And that's what the Alter Rebbe used to say, I am the son of the Maggid, I am the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. Now the Rebbe once explained, and he said, that it's interesting that the sages say, if you teach someone Torah, it's like they're your son. It's not actually your son. They don't share the same deep connection that a father and son share, a biological father and son share, because a biological father and son, the father is actually given a piece of himself. He actually has fully invested himself. He has inseminated himself into the son. The son is literally him. It's literally a piece of himself. He's given the deepest thing a human being can give, which is his son, which is his essence. As opposed to when you teach someone Torah, when you share with somebody else powerful ideas, it's a very deep connection, but it's not as deep because you're only connecting on a mental level. You're only building a mental connection. You're only sharing with them thoughts from the mind. It's not from your essence, and therefore they're not literally your son. You don't share a connection that a father and a son share. It's like that connection. It's almost as deep. But the Alter Rebbe didn't say I'm like the son of the Maggid. He didn't say I'm like the son of the Baal Shem Tov, the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. He said I am actually the son of the Maggid. I am actually the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. The Maggid is actually my father. The Baal Shem Tov is actually my grandfather. And the Rebbe explained the reason this is because tzaddikim resemble Hashem. Tzaddikim resemble God. And God says about himself, God writes about himself, Nafshi ksavis yahavis. I have inseminated my soul, my very being, my very essence into my writings, into the Torah. Hashem says about himself that when you study the Torah, we're not just building a mental connection, you're not just learning my ideas, but you are getting me myself. I am inseminating myself into you. I have inseminated myself into the Torah, and therefore when you study Torah, you connect with my essence, you connect with the very essence of the divine, with Hashem himself, with the Atzmos, and you share a connection like a father and son share. That you are of and have connected with Hashem's, with God's essence. So he said in the same way, when tzaddikim come up with ideas, when tzaddikim write thoughts, in tzaddikim's writings and books, they have not just shared with us their ideas, they have not just exposed and shared with us their mind, but they have implanted and inseminated their very being. So when you study the books of a tzaddik, when you study the Torah of a tzaddik, you are actually connecting with their very essence. You can really be said to be their son. You are that tzaddik son, you are that Rebbe's son. That Rebbe is literally your father. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.